What's going on, people? It doesn't look like we have anybody in the chat today. Hey, that's all right though. You know, today's Throwback Thursday. I got some pops right here, the Jackalope right here. I'm gonna get opened, and I actually have a soda that I got opened the other day, but I had some problems with the whole video, so I winded up trashing the video and not using it. So I'm gonna start with my Superman soda. Now, the Superman is going to be a 1,500 piece run. These cans are all pretty much the same. I mean, the only difference, the real big difference in these cans is when you see them is the color of the cans, and the person they put on them is really the only difference when it comes right down to it, when it comes to these cans and what the content on the inside, right? But super cool cans. Y'all know that I kind of jumped on these right at the beginning. I mean, right at the beginning when they started making these sodas, I was all on top of them. And as they have progressed, I've kind of let it fall off, and I'm not trying to get everyone like I used to. I mean, there was a time that I was trying to grab every one of these guys. Now, I actually got 2 of these in the hopes that I would get a chase, but I'm just going to do a quick spoiler real quick because the video didn't turn out. I did not pull a chase. So at some point, one of these guys will go up for a giveaway for something at some point. So this is going to be the Superman soda. Now, I tend to believe that they put a little bit more work into these sodas than they do the pops right now, and only because I think it's still a new line. They're still really like detail orientated when it comes right down to these guys. Chase, how are you doing, brother? I'm going to try and say this other name. I'm going to say Corn. I hope that's right. Guys, it's good to see y'all over in the chat. If there's anything y'all want to talk about, please throw a question over there, a comment, anything. It really doesn't matter. Today, really, on Throwback Thursdays is all about let's hanging out and chilling and talking about stuff like sodas and whatever else craziness is coming about. I wanted to get the Jackalope opened. So my Jackalope here goes into their myth line, their myth lines, and I really don't have any of their myth lines other than the Jackalope. I think I might have one other one, but I'm gonna kind of tell you that I've always kind of wanted a Jackalope, and you know, a Jackalope's a rabbit deer mix, right? So it's the rabbit head with the deer antlers, and a taxidermist puts that all together. And I know some of you right now are going to be like, Wayne, I can't believe that you want that. Okay, so let's like back it up a little bit. If the rabbit's already deceased and the deer's already deceased, then I think that it's okay to put those two together so that I have a Jackalope. Just putting that out there, right? Just putting that out there. I actually have a taxidermied squirrel somewhere that I used to have sitting in my tattoo booth. He would sit like right behind me somewhere. It was a great conversation piece. You would see, you just like be amazed at the look people give you when they ask you what that is and you tell them. I mean, it's great conversation pieces. Just great conversation pieces. The myth that the Jackalope is going to be number 20 out of the myth collection. I don't think I showed this box off enough. So before I fully take him out of the box, I'm going to show this one off. So in their myth lines, they tend to have like this cartoony style like thing going on with their box I think to kind of drive home the point that it's not real. It's probably something more from like Roadrunner than it is necessarily real. I didn't really get into this line like I should have. I should have paid more attention and grabbed more of these guys as they came out. I haven't seen them come out with any on their myth lines in a while. I want to say that the last one that they came out with was the Kraken, but I could be mistaken on that. So don't like hold me to that one. And if it, so I don't even really know that I ever got this guy out on camera. This one is really cool. And I know some people, right, are going to be like, there's just, the Bigfoot. That's right, Chase. So the Bigfoot's going to be the last one I think that they come out with. And I missed the Bigfoot and I missed a couple of the other ones. But check this guy out. So I think that the Jackalope's a must-have for every guy that's going to have a whatever you want to call it, a man cave or a collection center, or as I like to call this, the command center. So for any guy that's going to have something like that, I think you should just have some interesting stuff sitting around to talk about, because your friends are going to be around and they're just going to want to like talk about something. This is a really cool pop. Now I love that they had to make him super small so that they could put this massive like rack on him with the antlers. I think he's a really awesome line. He was a great part of my collection right there was this guy. K Titus, how are you doing, brother? Y'all know with what is this, like New Year's Eve? Is that what this is? This is New Year's Eve. So there is like one leak that I'm going to show y'all that I really, there's not a whole lot of Funko news going on right now. There's not a whole lot of Funko leaks going on right now. And the reason being is we're coming right up at the end of the year and companies are trying to dissolve their inventory. They're not trying to make more, right? So at this moment, companies are trying to come into the following year with very little inventory because, believe this or not, they're going to have to pay taxes on that inventory. So companies try and like really like push their inventory to nothing right at the end of the year. And that's kind of why we're not seeing a whole lot come out of them. Now, I would have liked to have seen a few more leaks than I've seen here in the last few days, but I've only seen this one. I'm not real surprised about the fact that I've only seen one, but a quick disclosure before we get into like leaks and stuff like that. On these leaks, I've only found that maybe about 90% of these guys are accurate. There's that 10% window to where you're just not that accurate with them, right? I mean, it's just not gonna happen. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about leaks and what's out there. There's always that 10%, right? That isn't going to be real. So I'm going to show you this one, and I'm not a big collector or of this stuff, but for y'all that are the friends right now, so they have this down as a Target the Target Con. I'm gonna scroll over there real quick and see if I can like get us a better view of this one. So on this one, they have this down as a Target Con flocked. So I don't really know when the Target cons are. I know that you can get online and they give you like this whole, like, this is what day it is and time. Those aren't accurate. Trust me. I've tried that before. I've tried to go online. I've tried to like nail down what day it was, show up on that day, and they look at you like you're a three-eyed monster when you're like, hey, I'm here for Target Con. They're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. If you've ever had that happen, that's where I'm at with this. And I don't know when Target Con is. I can't honestly tell you what day it is. Maybe it's something that you could go ask your local Target or something like that. Maybe they would be able to tell you, and maybe they would have better information on that than I do. But I think this is a really cool pop, and I'm not that into Friends. I don't really care about Chandler or any of that stuff, and the fact that it's flocked doesn't make me like want to run out and get it. But this is a really cool pop, and this is supposedly a leak, right? So try and keep that in mind. This is supposedly a leak. So whether it's a leak or not, I really don't know, but they say it's a leak. I might pick this one up just because it reminds me of, the Christmas Story? And I'm sure that's what he was supposed to be at this moment. Or maybe he was dressed up as something for Easter for the kids. I really don't know. Like I said, I just don't get that far into like the Friends and stuff of that effect. But this is a really cool pop. And the Christmas Story is what I was saying just a second ago. This really reminds me of like the whole Christmas Story and where he comes down and his aunt sent him the bunny outfit and he comes down with the bunny outfit on. That's what this one reminds me of. So I will go after this one if I see it in Target, but I'm not going to try and figure out when the Target Con is. I've tried to do that before. It didn't work. I mean, maybe next time I'm at Target, I'll actually like ask like somebody when they know when Target Con is. Let's see what Super Gabriel here says. Super Gabriel says, I need someone hit the subs because, well, I think that is the problem that we all have. And if you have not had a chance to go see the video that I made today, go check that out after we're done here today. It's kind of my end of the year video. It's kind of my, I'm on the road right now for 5,000 subscribers, and that is where I'm going into the next year. I am going, Joshua, hey, how are you doing, bud? I am going into the next year with a 5,000 subscriber goal, and that is where I am going, and I'm just going to keep pushing next year until I hit that 5,000 subscribers. So if you are out somewhere and you see somebody picking up Funkos, give them my channel. If you are sitting down talking to someone and they start talking to you about Funkos, send them to my channel. All your help is appreciated. Chase says, I have never seen that sticker before. I have not either. And so I kind of want to think that this is a leak, right? I kind of want to believe that this is a leak, but because I don't know Friends and I don't know that Chandler ever dressed like this and I never really got into the show, I don't really know. I can, however, see them coming up with a new sticker just for Target Con because I know that they've had at least a couple of years run at this. I missed last year's altogether. By the time I made it there, the only thing they had left was this t-shirt thing that was in a box. It said Target Con on it, but that's because my Target, they look, I don't know. They always look at me like a three-eyed monster when I'm there to pick up things on the day that they dropped, almost as if they're not used to that happening, or no one in their corporate office tells them that that's happening. And that's where, Slush, how are you doing, brother? And that's what I'm going to say, right, is that no one in their corporate office has seen that kind of stuff, and they're not spreading the news out to say this is what's going on this day, because I know Walmart's really guilty of that. Walmart doesn't tell anybody when stuff is happening. It just kind of happens, and then they're like, hey, surprise. So, there's really no telling. Slush says, I'm now watching you for the pops. Hey, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. So I am going to move on from that, and I'm going to kind of like jump into the Instagram and see what they have going on there, just because I really haven't like sat down and looked at Instagram here lately to see what they have going on. I mean, I kind of wait until we come on here on Thursdays, and then I sit down and I look at Instagram and I see, let's see. All right, so Instagram, I got to quit sharing this one real quick, and we're going to move over to the Instagram. We will stop sharing that one. Guys, if you have anything that you want to talk about, if you want to talk about any Funko news, if you've heard anything, if you know when TargetCon is, throw a message over there, and we will talk about that one really quick. I am going to move over, though, into their Instagram, and we're going to see what they have going on there. Like I said, I wait until we go live, and then I sit down and talk about this stuff. Let's see. This right here is always a work for me, just trying to figure out exactly how I am going to get on there. And let's see no, that's not where we want it to go. So let's get off of that one. No, I don't want to turn notifications on. I just want to go home at this point. No, let's see. That's not working right now. So let me figure this out. Sorry. JB, how are you doing, brother? I'm trying to get back. This is better than the slim red one that we're always. Yes. All right. Super says he needs 400 subscribers, brother. I feel your pain more than you know. Let's get over to my Instagram real quick, though, and get that changed, because that was not what I was trying to do. Let's see what we have going on. And there we go. All right. Now let me move back here. I'm sorry I didn't have this set up already, guys. I kind of got busy today doing lots of things. I have some company coming for New Year's. Don't tell anybody. I promise we're going to be socially distanced in my house. We'll wear a mask or something to that effect. I doubt it very seriously. But hey, here we go. All right. Moving over. So like I said, I kind of wait to scroll through the Instagram until we all sit here together. Let's see. What do you... What do I think of the new option? I don't know, Chase. You're gonna have to tell me what you mean. I hear everybody talking about these bundles, right? But I have yet to see a bundle. I've been online. I went to GameStop. I'm really involved in the stuff, but I've yet to see a bundle. So you'll have to tell me what you mean over there. I know for a really long time that you had places like Big Apple Collectibles and stuff like that were doing these bundles where they would just bundle them all together, and then you could just buy the bundle all at once. But they always charge scalper fees for doing that. Let's see. He says, we're about to followers. Really, Slush, it just takes some time, man. I mean, you're gonna get there. No worries. Look, you will get there. It just takes time. There's a lot of stuff that goes into YouTube, right? Like right at the beginning that I didn't understand, and that includes Instagram. So even on Instagram, I was not that well knowledge coming into this. I kind of started stuff on a whim, and I kind of started it more as it was more of a, let me show my kids that I could do this. And then I got really involved with it. And then I got really invested. And then I just started learning, right? So then I started learning the lighting. I started learning the audio. I started learning the video. There is so much to watch. And I'm going to write down your channel real quick, just in case I forget it. And when we get off of here, I'll go check you out and see what you have going on. There's so much, right, that just comes right down to it in the idea of YouTube, that is so much to learn, that it's a process, right? It's not something that happens overnight. It is a process. I can't preach enough how much YouTube is not a race. It is a marathon. And as long as you treat it like a marathon and you come to work every day ready to grind it out, you're going to you will get there. I promise you will get there. Guaranteed you will get there, guys. And if you are not subscribed to Slush, go over there and hit that subscribe button right now. Look, I'll wait on you. Go right ahead. I'm not going to go anywhere. You go over there, you hit that subscribe button, then you come back. And when you go, while you're doing that, while you're doing that, we will just start like our going through. All right, he says, well, we're all rude asses at some point. At some point, man, you're very welcome. All right, so let's see what we have going on. So we know there's a lot of WandaVision stuff going down right now, and I just want to assume that that's what this is. It is a WandaVision. So there's a lot of WandaVision stuff coming out right now. WandaVision's going to be coming out next month on the 15th. Right after that, they're going to be doing this whole, I'm going to go right back to doing the whole, panel review, and I'm hoping that I'm going to have JB and Chris and JKL, and we're all going to be sitting down again on Saturdays at 3:30. So try and remember that. Saturdays at 3:30 after the 15th, so that would be the 16th. We will start doing some panel reviews on WandaVision. Quick disclosure, I have never sat down and watched WandaVision or read WandaVision. I know nothing about WandaVision. The only thing I know is she's something like Freddy Krueger. She has some kind of powers or something that allows her to get inside your dreams or something to that effect. Not 100% sure. Jedi John, how are you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Guys, I truly appreciate each and every one of you that are in the chat. If you want to talk about something, throw it over there and we will talk about it. And if you want me to slow down when I'm going through these, guys, make sure you say slow down, right? Because that's why we're here. We're all hanging out together. Now, as I was saying, we're going to do another Saturday on WandaVision. So it'll be us in the group again. We'll be doing a panel review, stuff to that effect. Now, this one right here kind of confuses me. I know that they're calling this a retro Wolverine, but how retro is this Wolverine? Because I don't think I've ever seen this Wolverine, and I think that maybe I'm considered collecting with Red. How are you doing, brother? Diesel, hey Wayne, how's Diesel? Hey, I'm gonna tell you this funny story. Is there's a lot of that goes on, right? So when we first got Diesel, my wife started posting this daily dose of Diesel on her Facebook, and Diesel got lots and lots and lots of love. Now, I don't think that she's been doing that for a long time, but to this day, there's people that still ask how Diesel is doing. Diesel is doing really good. Diesel is really spoiled. Elijah, how are you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Slush, what's the name of your channel? Yes, Slush. Hey, let's do a shameless plug over there. And how about you tell us the name of your channel? That way everybody can go look you up real quick, and then they can go ahead and subscribe to your channel. Let's see. When you have a second, what is your thoughts? So my thoughts, and I'm going to skip pronouncing these things, right? Because I'm going to blame it on the fact that I have a speech impediment. Is what they call that. They say what I have is a speech impediment, right? So sometimes I think it's a little harder for me to pronounce things and to say things than it is for some people. And the fact that I'm born and raised in the South makes it even worse, right? I mean, so you've heard a lot of people in the South, right? The words kind of all run together, and the sentence kind of just starts to go together at some point. So I'm going to blame it on that. So I'm not going to try and say the Lucha Libre, but anyways, like I said, I'm not going to try and say it. I think if you're into wrestling, that it's going to be something you'll get into. I think that if you have a soft spot for Deadpool, then that's it. It's going to be okay, right? Because I have a soft spot for Deadpool. So I almost pulled the trigger the other day on actually getting the Lucha. I can't say it. I almost pulled the Deadpool on pulled the trigger on getting that Deadpool, but I didn't, because it still doesn't remind me enough of Deadpool for me to say that it's Deadpool. Just because you put Deadpool colors on him, black and red. I mean, black and red could mean lots of things. So I think if you're into wrestling and you like that style of wrestling and you're into it, then it's a great collection for you. Go after it. But I think that that's the funny thing that Funko does to a lot of us as collectors, is at some point they make us choose what we're going to collect and what we're not going to collect. And Lucha Libre, hey, there you go. I appreciate that. So they're blaming on the weed. Well, it happens, right? It happens. So If you're into wrestling, it's really cool. Go for it. If you're not, then I mean, if you think it's going to go up in value, I don't think so. If you're just buying them for value, I don't think that they're going to go up in value. Maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, but I don't think that's it at all. I don't think that's it at all. Chase says, I love the hair mold. Chase, does anyone know how retro this one is? I mean, this would have to be a really retro Wolverine. I mean, because I'm thinking as far back as I can remember, right, that Wolverine always had the same look to him. I never remember seeing Wolverine looking the way that he looks in this picture right here, especially with the whole, it almost appears as if they put a mask over his face. I don't, really confusing, really confusing, but I'm going to move past that one. They haven't had any real like drops here lately. I haven't seen any of them, which has been kind of disappointing. I'm going to pull this album up only because that I was kind of corrected here recently. So I'm going to apologize to anybody that got offended at the fact that I thought that that was a dude in there. I wasn't 100% sure what was in there. I thought that like right from the beginning, I made a full disclosure that I didn't know a whole lot about Black Sabbath, that I really never got into Ozzy Osbourne. I think that they're great performers. Don't get me wrong. I think that anybody who's in their art, they're great performers. They made it a long ways, probably much further than any of us is ever going to make it. But it's a witch. Yes, Slush, it is a witch. So here recently, somebody made sure that I understood that it was a witch. Okay, I got it. It's a witch. That's awesome. we're gonna move right on past that. I don't like the idea that Funko is advertising these out of the box, right? Because it is not out of the box. The Wizard of Oz. I'm probably going to have to listen to them at some point. I really can't remember a whole lot of Black Sabbath stuff. That's not really music that I got into. I kind of got into stuff that was just a touch older than your Black Sabbath, like CCR, Bad Wolves, not Bad Wolves. Bad Wolves would be a relatively new one. See, and that's kind of what happened. So I got into your little bit older music, like Jimi Hendrix. And when I say older, even at the time, it was older for me, right? So even at the time that I was listening to this music, my friends were like, WTF are you listening to, right? Because I was listening to music that was a little older than me. I was listening to the Jimi Hendrix. I was listening to the AC/DC. I was listening to Led Zeppelin. I was listening to music that was a little older than me. And then by the time this stuff was coming out, I had skipped over this and jumped into the 90s. And then y'all know where it went from there. Then it went Nirvana. It went Korn. It went all the great bands. I mean, so that's where that went. But I don't like the fact that Funko is showing this outside of the box. And I'm going to reach behind me real quick and grab this guy in the box because I have him sitting right here. Now, they're showing this out of the box, I think, for a couple of reasons. This box is shit. I'm just going to say it, right? We're just going to put it out there. And the reason being, and I'm going to see if you can see it there, they didn't put a top on it. So without this top, it starts to separate on the corners and the sides there. So all of these sides start to separate and pull apart from the actual display. And that's why, and can you see it even there, like where you see the figures? Because they didn't put anything to hold the cardboard in place. It separates and pulls from the case. So because of that, it's shit. But and that's why I think they're showing it out of that, because they're trying to say, hey, look, don't keep it in this sleeve. Take it out of the sleeve and display it like that, which to me takes away from it. I think it looks better this way than it does that way. Just my opinion, though, right? just my opinion. How about you tell me what your opinion is? Do you think this one looks better in the sleeve, better out of the sleeve? Do you think, like I do, that they should start doing something better, like maybe turn that into a full box, put the plastic around it, and then slide that inside? That way it all stays together, right? We will see. So my buddy Elijah here says that they need to make a Tupac album. They probably are in the future. I think that we've kind of sat down and realized that they're not going to stay in any genre when it comes right down to making it. They're going to jump all over the place, right? And so they will probably eventually come back and make a Tupac or something to that effect. I'm absolutely sure they are. I know that here recently they released it. They made a Lil Wayne. I still can't find it for sale anywhere other than Big Apple Collectibles. So I still have not like placed an order from a Lil Wayne album. That's the one album out of the group that I feel like I have to have, only because everyone here knows I am such a huge Lil Wayne fan. Gotta reach out to Captain Pops. Maybe he can get you a. Does he have? Is Chase? Have you seen a video where he has those in a protector? You kind of have me wondering now if he started the vaulted vinyl. I don't. Does he have those? I'm gonna have to go check it out. A lot of I'm not gonna go there because I'm a positive person. I'm not gonna go there. All right, check it out. So we're gonna move past this guy real quick. Yes, Slush, it is the Carter 3. So I've kind of been waiting for everything to open back up so we can start going to concerts and stuff again. I really enjoy going and seeing Five Finger Death Punch and Lil Wayne's. I've really just been kind of waiting on these concerts again. So he has all kinds of styles of vaulted vinyl. Oh, I got you. All right. So, yeah, I will definitely have to go check him out, see what he's got over there. This one's going to be another one from WandaVision. And once again, I just don't know anything about these guys. I wish I truly wish I did. I wish I could look at these guys and be like, well, this is this one, or this is that one, or this is what's going on there. But I don't have a clue, right? I don't have any clue. So I guess until they come out with it on the 15th, I'm going to kind of feel like a mushroom. I've been left in the dark and fed shit. I mean, because I just don't know. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with all of that. Let's see. Elijah says, wait for Entertainment Earth. I am trying to patiently wait. I've got my fingers crossed, and I'm waiting that they're going to come out. Elijah says he has the Lincoln Park for pre-order. That's really cool. I have every one of them right now but the Lil Wayne out there. And I actually kind of had to work a little bit to get the AC/DC one that was at Walmart. For some reason, it sold out really fast. None of them have really sold out. For some reason, it did. It sold out, and then they had to like kind of put it on the back burner. You can actually sign up to get these messages as soon as that stuff goes back for sale with Walmart. It was kind of strange. You know, it still had it for pre-order. You can click on there to notify me when it comes up. I did that. They notified me like a week ago. I went ahead and like pre-ordered that one as well. So far, I have every one of them either here or coming that they've had. Now, this is going to be the most recent. No, it is not. Okay, so this is just one of them somebody did for the picture of the day. I don't really get into the picture of the day. I don't really understand what they have going on there. So I just never really got into it. Now, this is going to be the Mountain Climber Mickey. If anybody knows, Chase, I am definitely going to have to go check him out. His vaulted vinyl on Instagram. I will definitely have to go check him out and see what they have over there. I am hoping for some kind of protective case, but we will just see what they have over there. But I appreciate that, and I will definitely, let me see. You just got your stand in today. Look, I bet that stand's super awesome. Now, I didn't catch the stand. I was kind of ignoring my emails, and by the time I looked at my email, that drop had already been dropped, so I didn't get my hands on that one. But I bet it looks really cool. Have I seen the Spider-Man? No, I have not. I have simply not. Is that a? I want to say that was a Walgreens exclusive. Was that a Walgreens exclusive? How about throw me a comment over there and let me know. I know that my local Walgreens still has like a lot of the Walgreens exclusive pops there. They still have like the Spider Octa, whatever it is, with all the arms coming out of it. And I think that my Walgreens just recently started getting this stuff in, and that they just don't sell it. You know, I live in a small community. It's not that big to begin with. $7 a pop. Elijah, do they have the vinyl protectors though? Do they have the protectors for these guys? I mean, so if I went to $7 a pop, would I be able to get a protector for the albums? Because what's happening with the albums is they are separating, right? They are separating away, and as they separate away, it's kind of getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Chase says Funko Shop. What, Chase? You're gonna have to tell me what is at the Funko Shop. Now the Mickey here, right? This is a really awesome Mickey. So this is gonna be the Mountain Mickey, and I want to say that he's coming from the whole Disney theme. I could be wrong, where he's climbing the top of the mountain. A lot of this stuff is a little different for me because I just don't remember this one. That's what makes me think that it must be like at Disney somewhere. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to click off that one and move on. So let's see. This is going to be the Cyborg Spider-Man. This is kind of what I was saying just a second ago, right? So my Walgreens still has a lot of these Spider-Mans, either in like the Spider Octo, and I say that, but look, I could be completely wrong on the way I'm saying that, where it has a bunch of arms and stuff coming out. Chase said Spider-Man sold out. He says Spidey sold out fast. A lot of when they do those drops, it seems like they always sell out, right? I mean, it's almost as if they never ever stay there. So it makes me wonder, like, exactly how many of them they have been making lately. Have they been making 10,000 of them? Have they been making 20,000 of them? How many have they been making that they're putting on there? And I am just convinced at this point. I used to think that they were making somewhere around 100,000 of one run is what I was thinking. It was somewhere between 80 and 100,000, depending on what kind of mold they were using. Would depend on how many like pieces they would be able to get of that one, right? Before you went into catastrophic failure and you had to have it machined, which, look, all of those companies, they have somebody that's sitting there that's just waiting, right, to fix whatever it is that happens to your mold. So if for some reason your mold gets a little ding or a damage, something closed on it, or all kinds of craziness happens, and then just general wear and tear. These things, they come together with so much pressure that just general wear and tear will get to them. So somewhere between 80 and 100,000 is what I used to think that they were making, but I don't think so anymore. Now I think we're moving somewhere around 10 to 30,000 is what I think they're making. And they're not just coming out and saying it, but I don't think they really have to. The speed that the stuff is selling out, right, tells me that it's somewhere in that number, right? Somewhere in that number is what they're having. And I think they have it figured to what they are making a decent profit at without having to put too much effort into the after expense of repairing molds and things of that effect, right? So that's just what I think. I could be completely wrong, but I think that their numbers are much lower than we ever truly thought they were in the beginning. I think that all of us thought that they were making a lot more than they are. One of the other reasons I say that is because they still have, and before we get off of here today, I'll see if I can make it over there so we can see this. They still have a Pez dispenser of I have the Pez dispenser here. I want to say it's it's a Superman villain, but I just can't remember his name right now. So they still have this Pez dispenser on their site for sale. They only made 3,000 of them. I mean, they only made 3,000 of them, and they still have it for sale. I know that it's been for sale for at least, I'm going to say, 11 months. Right. So I mean, just think about that for a minute. I mean, so it makes me think that there's somewhere into the 10 to 30,000 range is what they are making of these guys. And then when they sell out, it looks like here recently when they've sold out, they've just been done. This one looks like it is going to be available. I don't see. I don't see when a release date is. This is not a picture, so this one's posted by them. I'm going to say that this one's going to kind of be like the Obi-Wan that we just seen here recently that came up on Star Wars website, where you had to go in and you put in your email and you signed up for the giveaway of the Obi-Wan. Something tells me that that's what we're going to see happen with this one as well. This one's going to end up being one of those draw you to their site, put in your email, sign up for the giveaway, and then you'll get your Princess Leia at a 3,000 piece run. That's what it makes me think is going on with that one right there. But once again, look, I could be completely wrong. What's going on there. I'm going to get out of Princess Leia, though. Y'all all know how I feel about Star Wars. I really enjoy some good Star Wars. Oh my. Y'all want to talk about retro? This thing right here is really retro. Now, this is when they started trying to introduce right after the whole like keychain, like I'm trying to remember exactly how you say it. So they had the little keychain like babies. They weren't babies though. If anybody can remember what those things were called, how about let me know? But they had the whole like keychain where you had your little animal on there and you had to feed your animal and you had to take care of your animal and you had to do all of that nonsense on this little digital keychain. And it counted for how many days you kept it alive. What any of that was for, I have zero idea what any of that stuff was for. But that is kind of what the spinoff of this Furby is, what I think they were called. I'm going to get a closer look again. Let's see. It's a Furby. So that's kind of what happened with these Furbies. After they did that, then they started making these things that you could feed, and they kind of reacted to you getting close to them, and maybe even some touch. And look, that was modern technology for the 90s. I mean, because that would have been like I want to say an early, maybe even mid 90s thing. And look, that was like, whew, that was like some technology for them to be able to pull that off. And then after that, you started seeing the fish that people put on their wall that would scare the hell out of you as you walk by it, and it kind of spun to the side and started talking to you and singing. Shortly, like in that mix is when you started seeing all of that craziness. Would for sure dig the paint job. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Let's see. I think y'all are in a side conversation at this moment, and I'm going to have to go check that out, Chase. So you're saying that you just showed the new Darth Maul? I'm going to have to go check that out. Frog Prince, how are you doing, brother? It is good to see you in there. Yes, see, Chase, you remember the Furbies. You clearly remember the Furbies. The Furbies like made their whole debut. They were absolutely annoying as far as I'm concerned. I think that most females had at least 3 or 4 of these things sitting around their bedroom to all scare the ever living hell out of your ass when you walked in there, and they all like started chirping and chatting and making whatever crazy noise it is that they made at that time. New Wonder Woman. Has anybody seen this Wonder Woman? Was this a good movie? I still have not watched this Wonder Woman. I don't remember the Wonder Woman. I know that the new 84 Wonder Woman. Is this a retro? Like, is it supposed to be back in 84, or is that just like what they called it, like the 84 Wonder Woman? I don't know. If you know, throw a comment over there if you've seen it. Is it any good? Is it something that I should like take some time to go check out? Let's see. You couldn't take them into government buildings. I did not know that about the Furbies. I did not know that they were banned from government buildings. That seems funny. I can imagine though, right? Because look, you know how sensitive they get on stuff like that. And recently they did this whole like DJI band. I don't know if any of you guys are into flying drones or if you use drones in videos and things of that effect. I do. I actually own a little mini DJI, so that's kind of concerning to me that they did this whole DJI ban. It's not concerning to me that about the banning the product itself. What concerns me is the app that takes to fly this, that they'll quit updating the app. They will quit allowing me to get new downloads for the app. So eventually at some point it'll become a huge paperweight. So if any of you have DJIs or fly anything like that, how about throw a comment over there? And if you don't have a DJI, you might want to go look one up now. I mean, because they did this whole like ban on them, and what happens is eventually the price of them will start going up, kind of like supply and demand, right? Let's be real. As the supply goes down and the demand stays up, then the value has to go up to supply and demand. We all know how that works. They will eventually start going in the upwards position as people can't get their hands on them, right? So that's eventually what will start happening. But also what will start happening is the app is, so if you have a DJI at this moment, make sure that you have the latest version of the app. Make sure that everything's updated. Make sure that you have all of that done before they stop. Because at some point, what will happen is the company will say, well, I can't sell them to the United States, so I'm not going to update my app, or I'm not going to allow you to get the app, right? I mean, because that's something that has happened historically in the past, is that Google and Apple have just quit carrying apps to things that have been banned here in the United States. So that's the other thing that could potentially happen, is that they just drop the app altogether. So then if you don't have the app, you will never have the app. So it just keep all that in mind if you fly drones and if you do them for anything like that. For sure about the drones. Yeah, I mean, if you do anything like that, just keep that in mind if you have a DJI. Let's see the new Wonder Woman 89. I haven't done none of those, and at some point, if some point I'm just gonna have to. It got delayed because of the whole COVID, and then ever since then, it's just kind of been getting delayed further and further. And I think here recently they just released it on HBO. I don't have any of the football stuff. I guess this one's gonna be Randy. Let's see what we have here. They're calling it Football Legends. Yeah, I don't look. I kind of got out of football. I didn't really get out of football. I got out of the NFL back when they started taking a knee, and I don't know how you feel about that. But for the national anthem, we stand and we support the flag because of the troops and the Star Spangled Banner, however you want to look at it, right? Whatever you want to call it. We stand and we support our troops to make sure that we have the ability to protest, right? I mean, our troops make sure that we have the ability to be free. So out of respect to them, I'm not taking a knee and I'm not disrespecting none of that out of respect for the people that make sure that I have the ability to be free, right? So I quit watching the NFL about the time all of that stuff started happening. So I don't really know who these guys are. Now only thing I watch is college ball. And for a Georgia guy, I always root for Notre Dame because my wife is Notre Dame through and through. I live in Indiana now, so that's my team. I'm really into college ball. I'm not so much into the NFL anymore. He said, "Go Bucks." Yeah. Couldn't help yourself. I get it now. For many years, I was an Atlanta fan. I'm still a Matty Ice, and I would still say that if I was going to root for an NFL team, that it would still be an Atlanta fan. But look, I kind of quit watching them when they started doing the whole taking a knee, and at that point, it kind of ruined it for me. And then by the time I got back to the NFL, well, I mean, it was a little too late then. I had done missed too much of it, and I had kind of lost interest of it. So this movie right here, I just recently watched with my daughter and my wife. We watched this movie, Soul. If you have not had a chance to watch this movie, you should sit down and watch it. Now, I'm going to tell you that it's some wholesome family stuff going on in this movie, and I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts whatsoever, even though the background of this is from the movie, and it really awesome. Really awesome. These pops actually came out a long time before the movie. And this is another one, kind of like Wonder Woman, that I believe didn't get its fair share because of the fact that they came out with the pops so much further in advance than they came out with the movie. Now, you can still find these pops sitting around your local GameStop and places like that, but keep an eye on them because this is just like with the Wonder Woman pops. I believe in my heart that these pops right here are eventually going to go up in value. What happened is all the boxes got ruined. They got damaged. People didn't want them. They weren't paying them any attention. That's what happened. They got sent back, then they got put on discount shelves, and before you know it, the pops are non-existent. They either got damaged, they got put on clearance. Walmart stuck god-awful nasty clearance stickers to the front of them because that's just something they do when they put stuff on clearance. Why, I don't know. Makes you want to like beat your head against the wall. I still to this day can't figure out why Walmart decides when they go on clearance that you just stick these god-awful nasty stickers to the front. But they do. And that's what happened, right? So you're going to be able to find the pops themselves here in the future, but you're not going to be able to find them with a nice box. And that's going to be the difference, right? The difference is going to be the box. So then all of a sudden you have a pop that's worth money because you're the only one with a nice box, or you're the only one out of 1,000 people who have a nice box. And so just keep your eye out on those. And if you haven't had a chance to watch that movie, you should definitely go watch that movie. Super cute. You should watch it. Yes, Chase, you should watch that one. Hey, look, sit down with your kids, sit down with your wife, grab some popcorn, get you a beer in your hand, whatever it is that makes you happy, and watch this one. It's super cute. You're gonna laugh. This is a good movie. This is one of the movies here recently that I'll put up is a good wholesome family movie, and they just don't seem to come out with those a whole lot lately anymore, right? You just don't seem to see those as much as you used to. Now, I want to say that this is going to be a mini, and it is. This is going to be a mini from the 1984 Wonder Woman. I'm just going to kind of blow by this one because I still don't know what this is. Maybe I'm going to sit down and watch it. I don't know. Look, in this gold suit, this is a super hot pop, but I still just don't know enough about it to like get behind it, right? I just don't know enough about it to like want to get behind it. So he says, I hate to say, well, you're just gonna have to like watch the movie. Once you watch the movie, all of that stuff kind of makes sense, right? But you have to watch the movie for that to make sense. And the movie kind of went into a literal and non-literal all at the same time, right? It's one of them that you're gonna have to watch. And this is what that pop was a second ago, but this is probably in the mini version of that pop. They never really say up here in the description. I wish they would say right up in the description there if this is a mini or if this is a pop or whatever. What have you, right? I wish that they would throw up there real quick, though, just what is this and what line it came from and all of that good stuff. But they don't say it. And you're gonna have to take you're gonna have to take this one at literal and not literal all at the same time. Disney did a great job, or Pixar films, or however you want to look at it. Look, Pixar's owned by Disney. Disney was no fool when Pixar came out and they started making these amazing movies. Disney said, "Oh, whoa, whoa, stop! We're gonna buy you to keep you from becoming our competition." Look, you have to give Disney credit for that. That was a smart move. They realized that at some point Pixar was going to become more of a competition for them than they wanted to allow Pixar to be. So they came in and scooped up Pixar very, very quickly. Mad props for Disney for that one. But this is a really cool, cute movie. And if you haven't checked it out, go check that one out with your kids. Now, it looks like we're still into the Wonder Woman. They are really hammering like the 1984 Wonder Woman stuff right now really hard. This is another one, look, that I don't know a whole lot about. I do know that this is a really hot pose for Wonder Woman, though. She's got the lasso out. I don't see that actually being in the pop, though, because that starts to take up too much space, right? And it makes me wonder how doctored this one is, because there's no way that that lasso is fitting in a box unless they pushed it back, and then they're taking the risk of breaking it. And I don't see that happening. So it just makes me think now that that one right there has been docked a little. I don't necessarily know. Let's see. He says it's fire in person. Yeah, look, it's one of them that I'm gonna have to see. Right? Disney and Funko. Hey, yeah, Disney and Amazon are taking over the world. They absolutely are. And I used to really support Amazon till here recently, and then they made some decisions that made me support them even less. So I haven't bought anything from Amazon in a while, and that used to be my main place to get stuff. But like I said, they made some decisions here recently as a company that I don't agree with, and that's like what's really cool about living in the United States, right? Is that we can all kind of have our own opinions of things, and we can still be friends at the end of the day. They made some decisions here recently that caused me not to shop with them anymore. This Freddy was a really cool Freddy. I don't know if you guys had chance to get your hands on this one, but this is what I'm going to say is this is also a really weak Freddy. And it's a really weak Freddy on the sense of they didn't do a whole lot, right? So they took Freddy, they put him in a hat, they put him in a Santa hat, and then they put this body on him that you've probably seen in 100 different things, or maybe even more than that, right? Because we know that there's somewhere around 9 or 10,000 pops at this point that they've produced somewhere in that thing, and it could be just a touch higher than that. But I bet we've seen this body in at least 10 other pops, right? So they took a pretty common body, and then they changed the colors of the sleeves. They threw the Funko crown on him, and they called him a Christmas. I wish that they would have put him in a Santa suit. I wish that they'd have done something more. Just push the envelope a little further, right? And I start to wonder, like, with their creators and their in their creative side, if they're not hitting some kind of creative block, or if they're hitting something else, right? Something is happening, and I just can't imagine an artist saying that I want you to put out this very plain Freddy, that you're just going to use the same body that you've used in the past 100 pops, and we're just going to change the head mold, and we're not going to do a whole lot with it. We could have given him a fake beard. We could have given him a fake mustache. We could have given him so many things, right? That would have like drove it home, but they didn't do it. Let's see. Chase says, "Oh man, so disappointed I missed out on that." You had to buy like $75 and stuff. Look, the only reason that I ended up with him is because I was going to play the Dumb and Dumber Chase Roulette. If you haven't seen that video, go check that out when we get off of here. Make sure you watch it all the way to the end, though. I mean, you've got to watch them all the way from the beginning to the end. It's just a mandatory thing that you have to do. So, and if you don't watch them to the end, then you miss my Diesel at the end of those videos so much more than y'all know, because Diesel tends to be at the end of every one of my videos. He's kind of like my lion, and I can't remember what production company that was, where they'd have the lion at the end of it, and he would do like a whole roar thing there at the end. Well, Diesel's kind of like my lion, and at the end of my videos, that's where Diesel's hanging out, is always at the end of my videos. Make sure you watch my videos all the way to the end to make sure that you are seeing Diesel. Chase, don't be super disappointed. I think that you'll see this guy again at some point. They'll probably come back out with him next Christmas. If I had to be completely honest, you'll probably see him next Christmas in the same bundle. The thing that disappointed me this year is the fact that they didn't come out with like a Black Friday not Black Friday. They didn't come out with the Cyber Monday mystery box. That was truly disappointing for me. I don't know why they didn't come out with the Cyber Monday mystery box, but it was a little bit disappointing in the fact that they didn't. I'm going to stop on this one real quick just to see who this is. Okay, that's what I thought it was. It's Luke Cage. I said that here recently I was not going to go after this pop. I said here recently that I don't know who Luke Cage is and that I'm not going to grab that one, and I might have lied. is what I'm going to say, because I've seen this one the other day at my local GameStop, and you see how they have the yellow writing on him. The yellow writing on him when it put it right on his face, right? Because in the street art series stuff, every one of them is a little different, right? Because what they're doing is hydro dipping these guys, right? So they've got the water sitting there with the stencil in it. They dip this guy in there. And that's how he comes out. And I know that they're hydro dipping them just because I know, right? They're hydro dipping these guys. And so that the stencil changes depending on what angle or who did it or how it was done, right? Was it put in head first? Was it put in feet first? Was it put in on his side? Was it put in on his head? How was he put in? Changes the way it looks. So there's one at my local GameStop that has the whole Harlem on one side of his head and the Harlem on the other side of his head, and his whole head almost looks like that bright yellow that you're seeing there in that H on this one. And it looks fire. Look, I just can't lie to you. It looks fire. So I just don't know that I'm not going to be able to go after this one. I think that I'm going to have to recant my statement, and I'm going to have to go after this guy because he does look so good. I mean, and seeing this one in person is one of them that I think you kind of have to see in person to fully understand how cool this pop is. And if you haven't seen it, I'm sure that your local GameStop right now has this guy on there. All you have to do is go over there, check him out. This one to me looks extremely different than the rest of them. Now, the rest of your street arts all tend to have the same like theme about them. They all kind of have the same color. They all kind of have this same look and feel to them. This to me is the one that is standing out of the crowd. This guy right here is standing way out of the crowd, and he looks fire. So I really might have to recant what I said, and I might have to go after him. These guys, ooh. Let's see. Now the question is, are you going to out of the box display them? No, I am not. So I'm just at some point, Chase, I decided that I was an in the box collector, because what happens is you have to collect them. You have to either store the box and take them out of the box. So now you're taking up twice as much space than if I just left him in the box. And at some point, I mean, clearly you start to run out of space, and I have started to run out of space again. I mean, so, and I've told myself that when I started to run out of space this time, that I would start selling stuff to open up space, and I'm kind of fighting with that at this moment, and that's why I haven't bought more space, is that I truly think that I might start selling some of my collection off to bring in other stuff so that I'm not taking up any more space. Now, I don't necessarily know that that's going to happen. Now, I might end up throwing up a couple of more shelves here and there, down here somewhere. I mean, I don't really know, but right now I am kind of fighting with that theory. Do I take up more space? Do I not take up more space? Do I add more shelving? Chris, how are you doing, brother? It is always good to see you. You are not getting the red Mando back ever. Unless I die, I will wheel him to you. That is the only way he leaves my Mando collection. I'll make sure that the red Mando is wheeled to Chris, Mr. Techbot. That's a really fire Mando too, by the way. So I noticed that Funko never does anything that's not in Star Wars, right? And that's what everybody needs to remember, is that Funko never does anything that's not in a Star Wars. So if you watch The Mandalorian, right at the beginning, they show all these different chrome, like they show the chrome this, chrome that. They just chrome R2D2, chrome, I can't remember who, Kylo Ren. It's a different ones, right, that are all like chrome back to back, and they just kind of flash them right at the beginning. The very last one is a red chrome Mandalorian. So if you haven't noticed that before, go back and watch one of the very beginnings of The Mandalorian, where they flip through all of the characters real quick, and they just have these chrome faces that are popping up. The very last one is a chrome red Mandalorian, and I'm absolutely convinced that's where that came from. JKL, how are you doing, brother? Y'all are coming to the end of the show, but I truly appreciate y'all showing up all the same. Now, going into these guys, I look, like I said before, I am actively going to try and play a chase roulette with them. I mean, it's just what I'm going to do. I really want that chase Robin. I'm going to play a chase roulette with it. So far in the chase roulettes, I've had some pretty good success when it came right down to it. I don't know that will continue, but I'm gonna try all the same. I mean, I am definitely gonna try. I don't necessarily. I'm not a big fan of the black. I'm not a big fan of the black Batman. It's not one of them that I'm really into. I don't really like the black suit. It's okay. It's just okay. I mean, it's nothing that I'm running out to get my hands on. Now that blue suited Batman, on the other hand, that dude is fire. I mean, he is fire. And I want that one only because it truly reminds me of the original Batman, right? And just the other day, I seen the original Batman series at Walmart. They had them all on display. It was the original Batman. It was the original series though. It's the one where the punches would get thrown and you'd see pow and you'd see boom pop up on the screen somewhere. So they actually have that for sale at Walmart, but man, it is expensive. They want like $44 for the set. So anyways, getting back to topic, the blue suited Batman truly reminds me of the original Batman. So I want that one. That is absolutely fire to me. Let's see, Elijah says, get the chase, Robin, the collectibles for that. Now, see, I got what you're saying, but I don't like buying the chases like that. I don't believe in paying the scalper fees. I just don't believe in doing it. So what I'll do is I'll play a chase roulette, and if I get him, I get him. If I don't, I don't. So far, I've been really successful at getting the chases out of the chase roulette. So I'm just going to give it another shot. And I don't know if I'm going to wait until it drops onto the Funko side or if I'm going to try and do it through Entertainment Earth. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to wait until it drops on the Funko site, and then I'll try and play a little chase roulette through the Funko site, or maybe I'll go through Entertainment Earth. I really don't know at this point, but I will do one or the other before it's absolutely over with. Guys, it looks like we have just about ran out of time today, and I didn't get over to the Funko site. It doesn't look like they have a whole lot else going on here other than, the Deadpool that we all need. If this one here recently came up for sale at, I want to say it was GameStop. Yeah, it's GameStop. I see it on there now. So just recently, this one came up for sale at GameStop. You can go pre-order it now. It's the 10-inch. I think they're calling it an oversize. I'm going to flip back on that real quick, though, so that I can get a slightly better look at this. So they're not saying right here, but it's a 10-inch. I mean, which to me is just going to look absolutely fire. He's going to go great with the rest of my 10-inch Deadpools. I mean, he is going to be massive, though. He is just going to be massive. You need a red card. I am not getting a red card. He is going to be massive, though. I mean, he's going to be big. When you think about like the size of him, you're going to have to think about the size of the Kraken, right? And I don't see that fitting in a normal box. What I think they're going to do here is the same thing that they did with the Child, right? They're going to take this guy and they're going to put him in a massive box, and he's going to take up a lot of your shelf space or wherever it is that you store these guys. I think he's well worth it, but you will have to make that decision all on your own. Guys, do not forget, tomorrow, Mr. TechBot and myself, we go live every Friday at 6 p.m. to talk about Funko news or whatever it is we have going on for the day. Speaking of Funko news, Chris, we have still not talked about what we are doing tomorrow. So I'm going to call you as soon as we get off of here so that we can figure out exactly what we're doing tomorrow. But guys, go ahead and set your reminder now. Look, pick your phone up. It's real easy. If you'll go to the calendar, my wife taught me how to do this the other day. You got to go to the calendar, and in the calendar there's these little spots. You click on the date, and then you just pick the time and tell it exactly what you want it to remind you of. So go ahead and set a reminder now for tomorrow. Make sure you set the reminder a little early, though. You want to set it about 5:30 so that you make sure that you catch Chris and myself live at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Now, we don't have anything going on for the Saturdays yet, but I got 3 out of the 4 people look like they are here at this moment. And I think that come the 15th when they drop WandaVision. Right after that, we're going to do another panel review where it's the four of us, and we'll talk about WandaVision, and we'll do all the spoilers that we can possibly come up with in a single hour with the four of us. But quick disclosure, I know nothing nothing about WandaVision. I know nothing. So they're gonna have to like teach me a whole lot and kind of school me on what's going on with all of that stuff. So right now we don't have anything going on for Saturdays, but that's okay. That just means make sure you grab your phone, set that remind for tomorrow so that you can catch us live. Guys, make sure that you have a happy new year, but make sure you do it responsibly. If you drink too much, use Uber. You know, look, that's something that we have now that we haven't always had. Make sure that you're drinking and being responsible. If you're going to go out and you're going to drink, make sure that you call an Uber if you've had too much to drink. Never, ever, ever put yourself in a position to have a god awful big DUI fine. It's just not worth it. And it's not worth it if you hurt somebody else, guys. So what I want to do real quick is say thank you to everybody who showed up and has been hanging out today, guys. I truly appreciate it. All of you are awesome. If you haven't had a chance to go check out the video that I made today, go check that out now. Hey, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.